Two for Obamacare, and it begins with a waiver request from one of the biggest administration cheerleaders, Congressman Anthony Weiner.
Pretty clear that Anthony Weiner would not be considering alternatives for New York if costs weren't rising and it wasn't becoming onerous for the city.
Mr. Weiner is looking for a way out.
Speaking of flip-flopping on positions, let's talk about Congressman Weiner.
Waivers that have been granted to select industries, to unions, of course, to a number of states, because they know that the onerous costs and the mandates, especially the mandates to increase the rolls of Medicaid, which is a huge problem in New York, and Representative Weiner admitted as much, is going to be a death knell for those states.
So waivers for the state of New York? I thought he liked this thing.
Sorry about that. Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for, I don't think members of Congress, I don't think y'all get enough credit for this bill. I mean, you get a lot of crap for it, but, I mean, I'm diabetic, I got a pre-existing condition, and I'm able to stay under my parents' plan until I'm 26 now. My question is, there was recently the president said something about letting states opt out if they can come out with a better plan by, like, a few years from now. What's the whole consensus on that, and what are they trying to do about that?
What was your name, my friend?
Scott.
Scott. First of all, Scott, before you put down the mic, I just want to say, you know, there's a lot of talk about the free market governing health care. You chose to have diabetes, right? That was like your free market decision?
I did.
I just want to make sure
well,
we
when
understand
I was 8, I said, you know, that'd be cool if I got that.
I think, look, and thank you for the kind words. Look, I think that the president articulated something, you know, that I was debating whether to bring this up in my remarks about things that we're not pushing back upon enough. You know, there have been well over, I don't know what the exact number is, over 1,000 waivers given of different provisions of the bill to states and to labor unions and to businesses. This notion of one size fits all, the federal government shoving a bill down people's throats, it's quite the opposite. HHS up to now has administered this bill in a way to be very sensitive to the idea that we have common objectives here. We want lower costs, we want more access, we want this system to work. Like the idea that somehow we would not want the law to work by driving health insurance companies out of business or by being inflexible in its regulations. In fact, the waivers, and I would hope that the administration kind of understands, I mean, makes this argument more forcefully, is an argument. Look, a lot of the people who got waivers were organizations that didn't like the bill and that had real problems with it. Some of them are friends. But I think that when the president said, if you've got better ideas that can accomplish the same thing, come do them. I'm in the process now in my office of trying to see if we can take him up on it in the city of New York. You know, I have a passing interest in the management of the city of New York, and so I'm taking a look at all the money we spend in Medicaid and Medicare and the facilities that we have, that maybe New York City can come up with a better plan. I think that always is the case. If it's a serious conversation about whether a state can do it better, then we should do it. I mean, but there have been many states, Hawaii, Maine, Massachusetts, others, Oregon, that have tried to do some of these things, and they wound up coming to the federal government saying, we need federal muscle to be able to make these programs work. But I think the president is right. If you can achieve the objectives of the bill, then all of us in Congress hopefully would be flexible enough to say, go to it.